I Archana Oinam, I English ki Ozani. Hello everyone. Today I am bringing you English Class 6, chapter number 6. And it is from your course book. Now the topic of the lesson is Manipur and its natural resources. The lesson is very long, but still it is a very interesting one, and we will see in this lesson how we, not only we, but how you and me as a human being living in this planet, what our duties are and how we can do, what we can do to preserve the resources of Manipur, what are our duties, that we will see in the lesson. Now we are going to discuss about the various resources found in Manipur, our small state Manipur. Manipur da kari phange haibada, resources kari phange haibada, adu akoina sigi lesson sida yengnagadoni. Manipur is a small state, but it is abundant with natural resources. We have many natural resources. We find many natural resources around us, and that we will see in our lesson. And we often hear the word that everyone's saying that Manipur is a biodiversity hotspot. And what that is, we will study in this lesson. We will come to know a lot about Manipur. We will not come to know a lot about resources in this lesson. And I am very sure you have studied, you have a lesson on resource in your geography subject also. So taking up that, and with my lesson, I know that the students of class 6 will now be very well aware of what resources are and how we can save our planet, what our duty is, that we shall look into details. Okay. This lesson number 6 is in the form of a conversation between a teacher and our class. So do open your textbook, look at it as I explain the lesson, as we discuss. Let us say discussing, all of you imagine that we are discussing. You open your textbook and you look at it. You will see that the lesson is in the form of a conversation between a teacher and her class. So it is our conversation. Imagine that I am your teacher and you are my class, and you listen to the video, you listen to this class very seriously. And the teacher has a class of students with the name Bembem, Naubi, Ibecha and Abe. And all the students, they want to know a lot about natural resources. Satra mayam si maming si yango, Bembem ka buyawi, Naubi ka buyawi, Ibecha ka buyawi, Abe ka buyawi. Makoy na khangning li se kay na makoy oja tagya. Natural resources se karino hai ba se khangning eba. So the teacher enters the classroom, and all the student wishes the teacher, and the first thing they want to know about is what natural resources is, just as the teacher introduces the topic. The moment the teacher introduces the topic, all the students are excited to know more about natural resources. So I bet all of you are also excited now. Let us look what it is and let us discuss. Now, what is natural resources? Where is it found? What are the resources found in Manipur? This lot is what is going to be discussed in this lesson. The teacher gives them an elaborate explanation of resources, their kinds of resources, and about the resources found in Manipur. Okay, so now let us see. What is resource? What do you think resource is? Do remember that anything that satisfies our needs, that is useful to us, is resource. So don't forget, anything that satisfies our needs. When I say our, I mean human needs. And it should be useful to us. As long as it is useful, it is a resource. Aikoibu pelhan mangamba, akoida kanaba piba poto resource ka way. Akoida hek kanariba, aikoi haibadi miyoiba, akoida hek kanariba, adugi poto bo akoina resource ka way ba. Aduga natural resource te karino. What are natural resources? Anything or everything, in fact, everything that we get from nature, free. Nature na akoida free the piba. Anything that we get from nature, which is useful to us, which satisfies our needs, are natural resources. In short, if I were to explain to you in Manipuri, I will say, Mahausha Lairimbi Kudol Haibani natural resources Haibadi. Lure aduta explanation. Ko Mahausa Lairimbi na akoy the piramba ka akoy the season na zero haina piramba pot mayam dubo akoy na natural resources haraga kangneba. So natural resources are those resources found in nature, free, a gift of nature, but it should satisfy our needs. Natural resources, it is based on a good and meaningful relationship between human beings and nature. Don't forget, it should be a meaningful relationship between human beings and nature. Okay, there has to be a relationship. It is a relationship that satisfies our needs. It should benefit human society. It must be available for use by men, by us. Ko akoy pelan gadaba, akoy gi samaj ki kanabo oigadaba, akoy na season ningba matamda season na ba phangadaba. Adubo akoy na kari kawi natural resources hare khangne. Now in ancient days, men was not aware of any resources. Everything was lying here and there. The very fact that we lived in caves, how will we know about it? We lived in caves. We don't know anything. In fact, you have learned in your history classes that men lived in caves, men ate raw food, we did not wear clothes, we roamed about here and there, then how will we know what resources? But what happened? As knowledge advanced, as we advanced forward from early men, from men living in caves to riverbank settlers, what happened? Our knowledge increases, our knowledge advanced, and then we stepped towards one step at a time towards education. And then we started getting all the knowledge about resources. We got to know that, oh, this is useful to us. We can use this. So like this, slowly, step by step, one step at a time, men came to know about the existence of resource, about how we can use everything that is around us for our own satisfaction. Akoy kanan na ba, akoy ningba thongna na ba, akoy bata lairiba mayam se karam haina sizinagani habase tap na akoy na chawkhotlakpagi matung ina akoy da madugi idea laeba. For example, the monazite sand found on the beaches of Kerala is a type of sand which contains thorium. And what is thorium? You have it in your textbook also. You must read it, because in English, the more you read the text, the more you get the ideas. You'll get new ideas. So, monazite sand is a type of sand found in the beaches of Kerala, and it contains thorium. And what is thorium? Thorium is used in nuclear power plants. It's a radioactive element. Okay, and it is used in nuclear power plant. Now, before this discovery that thorium can be used in nuclear power plant and it is found in abundance in the beaches of Kerala, the sand was just a sand before any form of discovery. Before discovering that this sand contains thorium, the sand was just a simple sand. But the moment we got to know that it contains thorium, which can be used in nuclear power plant, what happened? That sand became a valuable resource. Okay, so nahan makai khangam da buda hojikti khanga akanda di thorium yawe khanga akanda di atangba resource ama oreba. So what point is it that we can say, we can conclude now? We can conclude that education or knowledge is important to find out all these resources. We need an increase in education, which means an increase in knowledge. The more we get education, the more we gain our knowledge, the more we will get to know about the existing resources in our environment or in our nature. So, as soon as we discovered that the sand contains thorium, it has been converted, it is now preserved as a resource. So, how did we come to know that it contains thorium? It was possible because of our research, because of education, isn't it? So, education is the first step for the development of human resources. Okay, now what is human resource? It is one of the most important resource besides natural resource. Can you imagine? Can you think of an example? If I were to ask you, if you were to be listening this class in your classroom and I ask you, give me an example of human resource, what example will you give? Kari example pigani aina human resource ki example ama piyu na nakoi mayamna sigi class si agi class tarambo oitaragadi what example will you give? Kari example pin human resource ayagadi. The moment you hear the word human, look at yourself. You, my dear students, you all are human resources. And your education, your listening my class, agi class tabiri bisa, it is the first step where towards development of you as a resource. My educating you, my giving you knowledge about natural resource in Manipur is the first step in the development of your knowledge of human resources. So you are a human resource. So education is the only way to increase your knowledge, to make this world a beautiful place, a livable place to live in. So don't forget that your education is very important. So that is why we are bringing you classes after classes. Do listen till the end, okay? Human resource is one of the most important resources besides natural resource. So just now we have discussed natural resource, everything or anything that is found in the nature which can satisfy our need. So do remember that human resource, besides natural resource, we have also discussed a little bit about human resource, and human resource is none other than you, my dear students. So when we talk about human resource, don't forget that the students or you all are the foundation of human resource. You are human resource, okay? And educating you is very important. So that is why we give emphasis, very much emphasis on educating the children, the future pillar of our society. Now, coming back to our class, we have 3 resources. Don't forget that. We have 3 resources, which you can easily find in your text also. The first one is natural resource, the second one is human resources, and the third is cultural resources. Let us broadly discuss about natural resources now. Now, natural resources, I'm very sure you have done a lot about, you might have had listened to classes regarding natural resources in your geography class, but still, this is being an English class. Let us remind ourselves, let us memorize ourselves, let us refresh our memories into how many types of resources are there. So how many types of natural resources are there? There are 2 types. One is renewable, one that can be renewed, and it means loiba naida, laidaba, loiba naidaba, sungloi loidaba. Then the other one is non-renewable, or we also say it exhaustible, non-renewable, which you cannot, like, once depleted, once gone, gone. Okay, so we have 2 sorts of natural, two division of natural resource. One is renewable, the other is non-renewable. Now we will come into details what renewable are and what non-renewable are. Renewable resources are also called non-exhaustible resources, and non-renewable resources are called exhaustible resources. Maiteron the haradi amana loiba naiba amana loitaba naiba haibani ko amana adum like dumai adum kano tawbagi magi regain tawrakna ba amu hapchalakna ba matam adum leijawa haibani ko. Now coming back, natural resources, as I have mentioned in earlier also, what are natural resources? Don't forget, they are free gifts of nature. It's free. We don't need to buy natural resources. It is free. It lies here and there in abundance in our nature. Then, by the very word free, do you have the right to misuse it? No, you don't have the right to misuse it. You have to use it in a very, very proper way so that you leave something for the future. You can use it, but don't forget to leave something for the future, because natural resources does not belong to you and your generation only. It doesn't belong to me and my generation only, but in fact, it belongs to the whole world. It is an holistic approach. Mapum neba prithvi pumna makin neba natural resources. I will say, I khaktangi natte, nakoi khaktangi generation ginate. For generations to come, the lehogadavani. So we have to be very careful with the use of natural resources. Okay. So when I say the word free, please be careful. So what are the natural resources? Water, soil, vegetation, all creatures, everything around us are natural resources. Then just now we have seen the two division, renewable and non-renewable. What are the non-renewable resources? Forest, fuel, minerals. These are all exhaustible. Petroleum products, they are all exhaustible. They can get depleted. They have to be a limited use. So we have to be very careful with the non-renewable resources. So it can be over. What will happen if deforestation takes place at a very fast rate? What will happen? Naturally, our planet, we will not be able to live in our planet. So we have to be very careful with forest, with petroleum, with coal, with minerals, everything. We have to be very, very careful. So that is why you often see slogans like save oil, save water, every drop is precious. You might have come across a lot. Bem Ibemcha, Abe, Naubi, they have come across a lot regarding this slogan. They have seen it everywhere. So all of you also, you have to be aware that we have to save our non-renewable resources like forest, petroleum, coal, mineral. We have to save them, and that is why, like when you go here and there, you might have seen all these slogans which I have written down here. Every drop is precious, plant more trees, green plant, happy planet, my home, my life. These are all slogans. And what is the message that we get from these slogans? This message is conveying to you that they are very important, that non-renewable resources are to be saved. So try to remember these points. Okay. So you have to remember these points. You have to remember these slogans so that you can save our planet. So we have seen the three types of resources. We have seen what resources are. We have seen the three types, out of which we have discussed the first part, the natural resources. And don't forget, it is our duty to save the planet. Every drop of water, every drop of oil matters. So save planet, make this planet a beautiful home. And with this slogan, let us continue our remaining classes in the next part.